Hello there, my name's Mark, and today I'm going to do a video of this game. Definitely drawn to it by the Ghost in the Shell image on the front. It is a micro game. It is in a cyberpunk setting. It is at its core a dice Yahtzee type game, and it plays on a 6x6 grid. The creator was playing it on Necromunda grids, and as you can see on my table, I'm going to be moving to play with Lego. So I'm going to go straight into the table. I think I've just noticed that I make a mistake. You can only use each action once. I think I do move twice. I don't think it really affects the gameplay too much, especially because I had a special bonus. So I'm going to leave the waffling when you're watching my setup, and then we'll have a chat afterwards, see what my thoughts were. I've played it about 3 or 4 times now. Yeah, it's got something that draws me to it. I think there are things that could be developed with it. Anyway, let's see that on the end chat. Let's go and play a game. Thanks. Hello there, my name's Mark. These are my dice tales, and I am going to be playing a little game called Kurio in Lego. So, I played the basic mission, which has you set up a board, and it's a cyberpunk themed game. So you have one hero, a little thief protagonist, who goes into raid corporations and steal their intel and escape alive. That is his mission. It has the book is very cyberpunk colourful, the PDF. It's got your neons and your yellows and your pinks. And it's a very simple dice game at its heart, but tells a little story. I think it is a journaling type game. Your character sheet is literally supply a name, supply your details, which have no relevance on the game. What you look like, do you have an eye patch, do you have cybernetics, do you work for a corp, whatever you want to, details you want to give. And then literally your character sheet is 4 stats, sorry. And all you need to do is assign the numbers 5, 4, 3, 2. So, Savvy, that lets you manipulate the dice you roll, which then determines what you can do on a turn. Combat is if you're rolling combat dice, you get to re-roll some combats. Stealth, if you get hit, you can re-roll, I guess, your dodge. And tech lets you re-roll what the enemy's going to be doing. It'll make more sense as we get to the game. Now, I'm not going to play in the lobby. There's lots of games in the lobby. So there's basically every corporation. You always start in the same room. I've done it to death, so I'm going to skip it. I generally get out without getting hurt because it's a fairly easy, get to the intel and get out. Now, for the story. So as I say, it's a journaling game because it doesn't have a win condition, but it does have a lose condition. And the lose is if you fail 3 heists. So I've done 1 heist and I was successful and I liberated 15 credits, which you then double to get to buy more gear. And I'm going to spend that gear and give myself a cybernetic arm, which gives me +1. Where is it? Cybernetic arm. Cybernetic arm. It's the most expensive one. +1 AR. So I think that means like +1 dice when I'm attacking in melee. I've also bought myself a submachine gun and a katana, and I've got some spends left. Right, before you go into a mission, you roll up what you are going to encounter. So I'm just going to get to that. It's about 4 pages at the back of the book, which Grace may have most of the tables on. So you would roll on the first table to find out which corporation you are raiding this turn. And they do increase in difficulty, luckily. So the first one just means you always fight enemy soldiers. From then on, you could even play these in order. Maybe you don't even roll them randomly, just to complete the game. But I rolled randomly. I got Somnus Neuralink. And the enemies that I encounter in here will have +1 hit points. We'll get to those in a moment. You then roll why you're doing the attack on this corporation. So you're trying to acquire something, you're sabotaging something, extracting someone, a personal vendetta, information theft, or you're undermining their authority. These have no... This is purely for journaling, has no impact on the gameplay. And then finally, you get a bonus for who your employer is. In this case, I've rolled the rebels. I'm going to get +1 sneak skill. So let's just have a look at that for a moment. Right, on my table here, my little Lego setup, everything's beautifully modular. I've got my hit point tracker here. I've got my intel tracker here. I've got the alertness tracker here. I'll explain those when they come into play. But up here, corresponding to my 4 stats, I've got savvy, so I've put 4 little tokens on that. Combat, 2 tokens on that. Stealth, I put 5 on that, but then something that I rolled gave me +1. Where did I get that +1 from? Oh, that was the Rebel faction gave me +1, yep. And my tech skill, so I've got 3 tokens on that. These correspond to, they are my rerolls, so I can spend those to reroll a dice once in a turn. And then I can spend another action to try and get the rerolls back. Okay, and then finally at the bottom of the list, if you can see that, yeah, we're on the right camera. You roll for an enemy on that level, and I've rolled again. I've been quite lucky here. I've rolled the second one up, so the corporate agent, and it describes their armor, none, their hit points. So I'm going to need. They're getting +1, so they're getting 5 hit points. Then they've got 3 ranged, 3 melee, and to defend from their weapon, it's I need to roll 3 or less. To defend from their melee attacks, I need to roll 4 or less. I think that's what that means. And they have a special ability, because they're dealing shotguns, they're going to get 2 extra dice at short range, 2 RA short. So I'm just writing down that with a pencil on the side there. Right, because I've played it a few times, I literally don't want to play the lobby again. The lobby is at the start of every game. And for brevity of the video, so I'll show you what I mean here. So at the back of the book, you start every mission with this setup. So what this is showing you, it's showing you always have 3 enemies. So these green arrows represent where they are placed and which way they're looking. The black one is full cover obstacle, so you can't see through, can't walk through. And the little C's are cover, and the red dot is the intel that you need to get to. And then you've got an entrance and an exit. Okay. Now, we've got the story, so we are attacking the Somnus Neural Link Corporation, who deal with VR. We are going in to sabotage them, so maybe they're doing... I'm thinking, what was it, Batman and the Riddler when he tried to take over people's brains. So I'm going to try and sabotage some sort of equipment. And the rebels are making me do this, so they give me +1 sneak. But I then need to do 3 missions before we actually go into the heist. So there's a table here, and they have a mission, a skill check, a reward, and possibly a consequence at the bottom as well. So, first mission. I've rolled a 10. So looking at the table, we've got hijack a pickup truck full of experimental samples. So maybe, journaling-wise, there's a pickup truck, and I don't know, it's got mice that have had VR implanted in the brains or something like that. So we're going to try and get that as proof. And it's a combat check, not great. So I've got 2 in combat, so I'm going to roll 2 dice. And what we're wanting here is a 6 or a 5. A 6 would give you the reward and 3 extra credits. A 5 would just give you the reward, and less than that, 4 or less, which I've just got, is a complication, which we didn't want. So now we're going to roll what that complication is. 6, 7, 8, 9. An enemy from your past seeks revenge. Take 1 wound. So I'm going to move my health tracker down. So I failed to hijack a pickup truck full of experimental samples. Let's move on to mission 2. 6. Pose as an official to get into a restricted area to gather intel. Stealth. Now I have 6 stealth. I have 5 stealth. I don't know if that +1 from the rebel faction counts here. And I don't need the +1 anyway. I've rolled a 6. So I'm going to get 3 extra starting credits. And let's see, you then look at the 6th reward. Your move action will not raise alertness during a heist. That is brilliant. Move, not raise alertness. So I've got the clothes to fit into this corporation. So maybe they suspect me less. And final mission 9. Infiltrate a gang's hideout, steal their goods and plans. Maybe there was another hacking team that was going to do this before me. And this is another stealth one, so I should get past this with all these dice. Loads of 6s. So again, so I've got 6 credits overall. You also start with 5, so I've actually got 11 credits. And what is the 9? Gain 1 savvy or tech skill. Ooh, nice. Savvy or tech at the start of each round. That is brilliant, because that one, savvy manipulates my own dice, so it'd be perfect. I basically have a free reroll every turn. Or tech lets you change the enemy's dice. So we'll see that when they come to the board. So that's it. I can now spend those 11 credits. And I think I had 7 credits left also. So I've actually got 18 credits to spend. So you can have a look on the character sheets. I can either save it all to try and get another permanent boost, or I can buy camouflage stim packs. You can both, right, camouflage. You can use both sneak action and sneak kill twice a turn. Having played it, I don't think I've got enough dice to try and do it twice a turn. Prevents 1 wound. Kevlar armor. I do like the sound of that. Ballistic shield prevents 1 wound during a defense roll. Use it 4 times. They're the same thing, aren't they? Apart from that one's used 3 times, that one you use 4 times, it's the same cost. I guess I could have armor and shield, and I'd be saved for 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds. Gain skill points, heal a wound, re-roll, remove an enemy, KO'd enemy. I'm going to go for a laser cutter, pass through a wall. Laser cutter, because on some missions I have found, so that's UA, so you need a 4+ dice to do that, and I can use it 3 times. But alertness goes up by 1. So that puts me down to 13 credits. I've already paid for an SMG and a katana. I'm going to be very spendy and go for a military bow and leave myself with 3 credits. So a military bow and a bow, which is 4 attacks and doesn't raise alertness. So I could use a submachine gun at close range for an extra dice, or I now take down things silently. So as I said, I don't want to do the lobby again. I'm just going to assume I did it successfully and got 5 intel out of it. So I've moved my intel tracker to 5, and now we roll to the more interesting part, setting up a new level. Hope you're sort of staying with me. So we roll 2 dice to find out where we're going to go. We're going to go to number 10. Number 10 is down here, which is the tunnels. So I'm just going to set that up. So we are going to enter down here, and we have a wall here, a wall here, and another wall here. We then have an enemy. Tunnels there, runs around in the middle. An enemy wandering around at the top. And I'm missing an enemy. Where's my little tiger gone? I think that's him. Where's he going to go? He's at the end of this wall. Oh, there's my tiger. I see. I've got loads of them. The intel is behind this wall, and the exit is over here. Fabulous. So, and we start here. So the alertness would be brought back down to 0 or 1, however you want to count it. We've got the facing of the enemy, which way they're going to wander and look. So this game works off an alertness level. So every action that you do has the potential to increase the alertness tracker. Once it gets to 7, all the enemies become cautious, and instead of just looking forward, they start looking orthogonally out their sides as well, but they never look out their back sides. Sorry about that. Right. So now we're set up. Oh, one thing. When you go to a new level, do these resets. I think I just want to double check on that. Reset alertness, roll 2d6. No, you only reset alertness, but I mean, the lobby is easy. I wouldn't have spent anything. And finally, there's a chance that there might be some other terrain on the board. So you roll 2 dice, and if you roll a 5 or a 6, which we have, you then roll to see what it is. It's a 5. So let's get that table back. And a 5 is another intel, 2 intel on the same floor. Now, I don't know what that means, if I can crack it open twice, or it just gives me an opportunity to get it quicker and go out to the next level. So you roll a 5, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1. Oh, wow. So you roll the dice, and it's like grid coordinates of where that second piece of train is going to go. And I could literally get there on turn 1 and get out. Or I could sneak around, and as I say, can I get both? Can I potentially get 10 intel and complete it on mission 2? Well, let's see. Let's say you can, but let's put that in as a question for the designer, FAQ. Because if it feels like another exit, that just, there was an exit here or something, or another exit there would be a bit pointless. But it's one step less to go to. It might have been another blocked wall. It might have been partial cover, like a small tree or a desk. So yeah. And yeah, it could have gone anywhere. So it could have blocked off an area and really made it a funny little map. So how the game plays, you roll 5 dice on your turn. And it's a good to, oh, there you go. This is almost like a perfect roll. You put them into piles of the same dice. You get to re-roll these up to 3 times until you're happy with the result. So if we look here, on your character sheets, there is a guide. So with a triple, I can move 5 squares. I don't need to use it as a triple. I could break it up and say it's a single and a single and a double. So if I had a double, I can move 3 squares. A single can move 1 square. And then they can do all these other actions. One of these lets me move 2 squares. But if I'm sliding around, it raises the awareness. So yeah, we'll get to those as we use them. I'll just leave that there so you can see them. Can we get them any more visible? Boop, boop, boop. There we go. So move 5 squares. I'm tempted to leave that and just sort of play it out and get this one, and then try and get that one on the way out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can get to here. So I could also reroll these to see if I get another, or I could just use that and go another 3 squares, 1, 2, 3. Now normally that would erase the alertness tracker 2 spaces, but as the previous preparatory proprietary missions, and I passed that one. That gave me the bonus of moving knots, raising the alertness. I can literally use that 3 to go 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then use my 2 to go 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm now on top of the data, ready to hack it next turn. And I don't need to raise the alertness level. Fantastic. Okay, now we see what the enemy is going to do. Now you can see, can you see? I'm going to move things down. I've got this little cheat sheet for the enemy, and I've coloured the enemies. So I've got another white one. The reason I've given them a red cap is that's going to be the KO'd bodies with their heads blown off. But they also roll 5 dice. And then you assign the dice to them. And then there's a very limited AI. When they're in unaware mode, they tend to move less and turn less. When they're more cautious, they might move a bit further. When they're in full alert, they know where you are and they're going to come for you no matter what you're doing. There's no way of going down on the track as far as I'm aware. So, because there's 2 values, they have a major action and a minor action. A major action is walk forward 2 spaces. A minor action is turn 90 degrees. So this white guy, I always try and do the white guy at the top, the brown guy in the middle, and the green guy at the bottom. It just makes it easier. I do have sort of cool all-black ninja-y type corpo guys, but it makes it easier to have them coloured. So 1, 2. So he's spent his 5 dice and he's moved forward 2. He can't see me because he's purely facing forward. The brown guy, he got 2 actions and they're both major actions. So a major action is walk forward 2. 1, he can't walk another one. So he's going to turn until he can. And there's his second move. His second dice, he's going to do the same again. Now he can't go forward. We've got another FAQ here. Is he going to walk past his friend? Or is he going to chat to him, turn around, and then go 2, 1, 2? I'm going to say the friend is going to block him. So that's his action. And then we go for the green one, who's major. He's got a major and a minor, so we'll see that in action. So he's going to walk forward 2, 1. He can't go, so turn 2. And his minor action is just turn 90 degrees. Simples. Then it's back to our turn. Then the alertness goes up 1. So it's my turn. So I'm going to roll all the dice. So my initial roll is 2 4s, 2 1s, and a 2. So I've got to think about what you can do with that and what you want to re-roll. So I need a 4+ to gather intel. Just using 1 dice and 4+ would give me 1 intel. But then every other dice I allocate to that will give me another intel. So I think you can get a maximum of 5 if I use all the dice. The only thing I'm considering here is that if I roll a 5 or a 6 on the enemy turn, if he gets a major, he will walk forward, turn, and see me. Even if I distract him... Ooh, hold on, yeah, that's a good one. If I distract him, he will turn 90 degrees and walk forward and then turn 90 degrees and go that way with his back to me. So I'm going to spend 1 dice on here. Disengage, no. Distract, rotate 1 enemy, but it does raise the alertness. So I'm going to use the 2 to distract him. He's going to face that way. Now he doesn't see me because he's purely focusing on the path in front of him. Then I'm going to use my unique action to gather the intel. So I'm going to spend the 4 and then give it 3 other dice and raise my intel by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I've got this other data point. So that is my turn over. So I've gathered this intel. Take it off the board. It doesn't matter which way you face yourself. You're sort of 360. And let's roll for what the enemy do this turn. And they are going, so we've got, because there are two values, I don't think a 6 corresponds to being a major. It's just if there were two values, if I had a 6 and a 5, we'd do a major and a minor. But if I just have two of the same value, I think you always do the major. And then the brown guy's not going to do anything, and the little green guy's going to be very active. So from the top, walk forward and turn and walk forward. So it's moved 2. Same again. Can't go 1, can't go 2. So he's walking in a little circle. That's his little patrol. Fortunately, I'm just going to show you one more thing here. Where was he? Oops. I think he's facing that way, wasn't he? Now, because I didn't like where it was ended up for combat purposes, 1, 2, 3, yeah, I didn't. I'm going to use one of my tech skills. So I'm going to take off that, just put it aside, and re-roll one of the enemy dice. And I've got a 3, so that means the brown guy's going to do something at least. So now he's going to move his 2, 1, 2. And now the brown guy is also going to walk 2, 1, 2, which is nice, getting out of the way. And the green guy's going to do his 3. So he's going to do a major, 1, turn 2. And then he's got 2 minors, which is turn 90 degrees and turn 90 degrees. So he's a little bit jittery. I had this weird TikTok moment in my head. These are all office workers. If I wasn't there, the alert tracker is going to go up one spot. So if this was just a normal working office and I wasn't even there, as the day goes on, they're getting paranoid and cautious and go, what the... Just how much coffee are they going to be drinking? They're going to be shooting each other before the end of the day. Anyway, that was their turn. Now remember I'm not going to say this word again, my preparatory missions gave me the ability to get 1 savvy or 1 tech back each turn, so I'm going to get that reroll back. And let's have a look at the dice. So my turn, double 6, which is good. You need a 6 to do a silent kill. But then to sneak, I need 4 of a kind. So I'm pretty much going to be re-rolling these slots. Keep the 2 6s. Hope for another 6 from these 3. Another one. And then one more re-roll. Oh, nice, 6. Not quite what I want, because I actually need 5 6s. Because I need to move behind him and then use a 6 to actually silently kill him. Is there any way around that? I could. Right, silent kill. Silent kill is 1 6. Let's just keep that side. I could just move 3 squares with a double. There we go. And get to there. And then use my silent kill. And then I've got 2 other dice left, which I could use to then dispose of the body. Not really in danger from the body being found either, because they're going to turn, go clockwise. Hopefully that way he's going to turn, go clockwise down here. Let's do it. So I'm going to spend 2 dice to move. And again, because of my preparatory bonus, I'm not raising the alertness for that move. And then I'm going to use the 6 to do a silent attack. Let's just see what that really means. You are standing on an adjacent square directly behind an enemy at the end of a sneak, and only after a sneak action. You can automatically KO without rolling for the attack. Blech. In addition, you can spend any number of additional action dice with 5 or more, hold on, to gain the same amount of intel. So I can kill him, gain an intel, +1, and then my last action, dispose of the body, 4+. Let's just see, hide the body. Remove enemy body from a grid. This action increases the alertness. Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I've used all my dice. Now, just a note, I could use Savvy to reroll some of these dice as well. I've not needed to as of yet, being a very lucky turn. So, enemy's turn. Now, this is interesting. So, the enemies, the whites, have been removed from the board. I think that just means they don't do anything. If we're alert, if things were going bad and they were coming for me, that would move. This tracker becomes an alert tracker rather than a reinforcements tracker, and it would increase that. So those 2 6s would have increased, but we're not there yet. So the 5 is going to do oh, it's all 3 of them. Wow, they're not doing anything this turn. So they're just going to do a walk 2 and a walk 2. So 1 2, he's admiring the wall. 1 2, he turns 90 degrees. He's possibly heading to the entrance. Maybe he's leaving for the day, meaning a very simple mission for me. And the alertness track goes up 1. So in the next one, they're going to be cautious. Right. Our turn. Oh, nothing there, is there? Double 2 only. Right. I feel like I could wipe out everyone on this floor if I wanted to. Let's read all these. Nothing from that one, so I'm going to read all them again. I don't need a 5 or a 6 at the moment, so we've got a triple. That gives us extra movement at least. 1, 2, 3, 4. The triple is 5 movements. And then a single movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I could use a dice just to move 1. And I'm actually then going to do this distract again and make him turn to face a wall. So yeah, that's all my actions. I don't need to use Savvy to reroll anything. I don't think I can top up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hi, Bob. Just walk past him because I'm wearing the clothes, so my alertness doesn't go up. Move on to the data, and then distract him, which does make the alertness go up. So they are now a little bit cautious. They're sort of wondering, hey, where's Jimmy gone? You know, is he slacking off again? Always slacking off, that Jimmy. And then because I've distracted him, he's like, hey, I put a poster on the wall saying live life, love, laugh, and the customer's always right, something like that. And he's going, hey, that's a bit off for our corporation. So they are now looking orthogonally, but not behind them. Other than that, nothing's changed. So their actions. Little Jimmy's. Oh, little Jimmy. I think he should be at his desk because his phone's ringing and no one's answering. 4 and 1. So the brown one is going to walk forward 2, so he can't do it. He's going to turn 1, 2. If I hadn't have distracted him, he would have walked to here. Luckily, he would still be facing the wrong way, but if he got a minor, he would have turned and seen me. And finally, the green guy got a 1, which says walk forward 2. So he's going to go turn 1, 2. They've probably gone off looking for little Jimmy there. Right, this is going to be a dead easy mission. Actually, end of game. I know I didn't do the first lobby floor, but if I can get this data, I'm good. So I've got 5+. I'm not in danger of anyone seeing me. I'm just going to spend all that on data. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got, how many is this track? 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. I've got 15 data again, even with that extra kill, but only on the 2nd level. So that's pretty awesome. Let's roll for what the enemy are going to do. I don't think it's going to matter. Even if they do see me and it becomes alert, I only need 1 space to exit the next turn. So we didn't get any combat, which is nice. I'll have to do an afterthought video about how my other games have gone, and then maybe we'll rack up for another video, if that sounds good to you. Oh, right, what's the enemy doing? Jimmy's phone's still ringing. He's walking forward to. 1, 2, 1. He's seen me. There we go. So the alertness now becomes a reinforcement track. So if that gets to the top, 14, another enemy comes on at the exit. But it doesn't matter on my turn. I don't even need to roll all the dice. I just need to move 1. And I'm out of there. I'm off to level 3. But I don't need level 3 in this game because I've already got the required amount of intel. So I've got 15 intel. So a quickie, an easy one. It's not always like that, and I'll do that in the after talk. So thanks for watching. Goodbye. Hello, welcome back after watching that video of the game. So this game comes with levels in it. Levels, when I say difficulty levels. Sort of. The first game it recommends you to play is versus the first corporation. So there's a table of 6 corporations in the game. And they increase in difficulty by increasing the hit points and the armor of the enemies if you select to go against that corporation. The first one literally just says use soldiers. So no matter what level you're on, you're just going to be facing soldiers. And they are super easy to kill. They only have 2 hit points, so you only need 2 successful dice, and they're going to go down. Dead easy. All the other corps. This game was very similar to the basic game because I did randomly roll it, but I got the second corporation, and they only have +1 hit points. I mean, I could have potentially rolled mechs, but again, I only rolled the second level of enemy, and again, the table of enemies increasingly gets harder. So it's soldiers, agents, assassins, mutants, cyborgs, and then the mecha, the head 209s. So there's that, and it gets very hard. I mean, I think at the heart of the game, it is a stealth game. So even if you roll the mechs, I think if you're lucky, and I think depends on your luck and what your rerolls are, you can avoid them, get the data, and get out. Though some of the missions have very tight corridors. So I've had one mission which has failed, which was frustrating, but I just need to get an FAQ about can you move through enemies or do you have to take them down to get past. On this mission, you notice I took the laser cutter. I didn't use it, so I lost that at the end of the game when I go into Corporation Fight number 3. So yeah, sorry I didn't do the lobby scene, but I wanted the video to be fairly brief and show off the construction of the map, if that makes sense, and that was okay. Because there are other videos out there. The creators got to how to play, but it doesn't quite answer some questions. And there's another great, I mean, that's how it came to my attention, someone else's YouTube video. Bizarre game, something like that, I think. I'll have to correct myself in the notes below who it was that I've been watching. So yeah, so thoughts of the game. The different things I feel like I want to tweak. So with me not knowing if you can move through enemies, I sort of want to know, can I use slide? If an enemy was blocking a tunnel, can I slide past him? Because that, add on an extra tagline to the slide action. You can move through an enemy with this. There is the move anywhere, which is if you get the Yahtzee, everything's the same number. You can move anywhere. I'm assuming that's like a special teleport. You're using a duct, you're using a chandelier, you're, somehow camel suit on, you're getting across the board that way. Very useful for getting to the exit. Also useful for on these corridor maps, for getting to the data. But you're kind of burning through your rerolls, unfortunately. I sort of, one game I felt frustrated that there wasn't quite enough dice. So to try and get, we did a stealth kill in this one. So that was 3 dice to do a sneak. No, 4 dice to do the sneak. 1 dice being a 6. That's all your dice. And then there's a special ability that says you can do a sneak attack twice. How are you doing a sneak attack twice? I guess there's no, I can't see it. You could have moved 1 square so you're not using 4 dice to do the sneak. There's a 1 square sneak, but you've got to be really well positioned to do that. And then lucky that the enemy hasn't turned around and seen you doing that. Well, I guess that's part of the challenge of it. Similar games, I would say I put this in the Mike Lambo's range of games. It's a small, thin book. You can get it out during a lunch break, coffee break, if you've got a small enough board. Even in 28mm, it wouldn't take up too much room. I do like playing with Lego. My son has seen me playing with Lego, so it's getting him building things again, which I like. And you can see it's being very modular. I'm actually working on a like a nomads. So it mentions going into the wasteland, so I'm making it like a wasteland level as well. Enemy wise, I did play as I say, one frustrating game. I rolled the military, so second game in. So I've only got one cyberware. Second game in, I rolled military and I rolled mechs. So that means the mechs have 12 hit points. So that means it becomes a bit of a slugfest trying to kill them. There was also a really dumb FAQ. Like there was a moment when, because I rolled mechs on the first level, I easily snuck past them because it was a lobby. The lobby's an easy one. It's fairly open. The enemies are far apart. So, but I had that issue where I think there was a mech standing in the doorway. I think it did roll and walk away from me, so I didn't really have to push my FAQ and wait for an answer to say, could I have slid past him? But I have got to remember not to do two move actions in a game. What else came up? So yeah, because that was so hard, I thought a tweak would be, instead of rolling once for the enemy on that level, you could roll once for each enemy point. So enemy point 1, you'd roll a d6. If you roll a 1, it's a soldier. If you roll a 6, it's a cyborg. You know, that kind of thing. And each enemy is different. Maybe a little more tracking in your little paper pad, but not much. I mean, yeah. You could also have a table that says 1, 2, and 3, it's a soldier. And then 4, 5, and 6 roll on a table, and it's a mech or a mutant and stuff like that. You could possibly even break it down further. I mean, making the zine longer and more to print out. You do go on like beginner missions where the first 3 missions are only going to be soldiers, agents, and assassins. But then when you get into the really big stuff, you can drop the soldiers. You'll never see a soldier again, but you can start facing mutants and cyborgs and things like that. I like that. That's cool. Yeah, and I was thinking, because my terrain looked fairly dungeony because I was using Lego Heroica as my base to build that little set. It could easily be reskinned to dungeoneering, and then I think you'd want to bring in maybe the random pit trap or something like that. I don't know how you do that. I think one of the videos I've watched has said the creator is working on like boss battles, which would be cool. I can't remember the big mech in Cyberpunk Red. I got a feeling it's called like Red Rocket or something, but I'm thinking possibly that's Fallout. But it'd be interesting how that works, that mechanic. So I think most of my questions were based on movement. I did post my questions on the enemy on the enemies on the creator Peter Schultz, I think, on his how to play videos, because he didn't quite answer them. And it's basically movement based as far as I'm aware. I think there's one where if you get a military mech, I think you need like 7s to hit, so a 6 is always hits. Interesting. And then the data points. I think I had two data points on this map. Is it just that I've got 2 places to access and only get 5? In which case I'd need to play another level now to get an extra couple of points. Or I could have gone around and stabbing the other guys in the back if I did that intel kill. I think that's another way. So let's see, if you can get 5 on a level, and then there's 3 enemies and you can silent kill them all. I mean, potentially the silent kill goes from sneaking behind with 1 dice and then killing with a 6. You'd have 3 intel from each enemy, so you could get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You could get 15 on 1 level, couldn't you? If you silent kill everyone. But I would expect that you're probably using 4 dice to sneak behind them and then a 6 to kill, which is a lot more uncommon. In which case, you'd only get 1 intel for the kill. Is that right? Have I done my maths right in my head? Yeah, it's a side. Another thought would be just going to the full poker. So you could do flushes and runs. So I could get 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and then maybe a pair, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as an alternative to getting all the same numbers. Getting 5 5s. Maybe you can have extra kills like with that. Lots of potential. I could see a second edition or an expansion on the cards, definitely. So yeah, I mean, of the 3 games, so I played through the lobby and I did that. The easy mission with just the soldiers. Yeah, I pretty much learned the game. Not too difficult. Got battered and crushed to the ground and really thought, oh, this game's rubbish. With the military mechs. Even though I was changing up the enemies between each round, I think I was rolling mutants and cyborgs, so it was still quite tough. So when you get to a situation where the enemy's got 6 and then plus another 2, 4, 8, 12 hit points, it becomes a bit of a slog because you can only really do. I mean, there's one weapon which you can roll 6 dice, so that'd be 6 damage. But they're often on like 8 hit points, so it's going to take 2 turns to kill an enemy. In which case, then they all become alert. I'm assuming because you've stabbed one, it's not going to stand there and say, "I've got a sword through me," but I haven't seen who did it. So you have to wait for him to turn around and see you. That's an interesting take. So yeah, pretty good for its price. Awesome, definitely. For its coffee table, bedside table size, even in 28mm, big bonus. The modularity. You could probably even randomly place the terrain. Roll the coordinates and just place it without really worrying that it's a car park or a parking lot or a med bay, etc. But you can really go wild with the terrain. Use what you've got. Or just use tokens and cutouts or Legos. So yes, that is it. Mark's Dice Sales. So if I got anything to say, so yeah, it's a bit like Mike Lambo's games in that it's a small rule book and a fairly simple AI system. I guess at heart it is a stealth 'em up. So even if you did roll those heavy mechs, you could potentially just wait for it to walk past. Look at the draw. Look at the dice. I think it's a dice game. You're going to get lucky rolls, bad rolls. So yeah. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. Say Mark's Dice Tales signing off. Goodbye.